How's your spirit? Are you feeling good?
I feel much better lately. I was like kind of at a rough place here and there throughout the year, but I think right now I'm coming to like a bit more of a peaceful place. I should by now.
You know, it was almost I'm going to say it was a year to the day that we spoke about ROSÉ.
Yeah, it's been exactly a year.
Exactly a year.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And I wondered how that make you feel, because I know that's probably the closest thing to numerology you've been dealing with this year, because it's just left, right, front, back. Where am I going? What's happening? Everything's going on. So I don't know if that feels like it puts a cap on something for you, but
I think it does. I feel like so much has happened that my brain is just going through 100 different things, and it feels like it's happening to me. But then if we say that was a year of things, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, a year of it, like we can kind of. I can digest that.
Can we spend a little bit of time digesting what the last 12 months has been, because it's been life-changing for you. You.
Yes, it has.
You know, and I created a distinction there because you and your friends in BLACKPINK all decided to do your own thing and did it very successfully and very individually. And I felt like each of you were able to really exercise your personal life, your passions, your tastes in your own unique way. And so having you in front of me today and getting to talk about that 12 months of establishing yourself even further must have been really rewarding for you and for you all.
There's like so much to like kind of digest and talk about. First of all, lately, as I get to do these like really fun things that I really haven't done before, experienced before. The other day I got to perform at like the Grammy Museum and even like being able to perform like my songs like on like a radio and preparing for all of that. I think it's those moments in between, like those musical moments that we get in between, that make me realize how grateful I am to have my job. Amongst all the crazy things that kind of happened, like a lot of that is just like mind-blowing, and you don't know how to digest so much of that. But I think in the middle of all that, like being like when you realize, like when I'm like rehearsing with my band to play the songs that were on my album that we released a year ago, and just like realizing that like this is my job, like I like pinching myself.
It's almost the simple things, right, that you need to be reminded of, which is like
coming back to the music. Yeah,
and me and my friends getting to just kind of figure out how we want to arrange this. And also it's really interesting because you released APT. It went ballistic, it went crazy. The album came out, everyone loved it. But you didn't really get much time, I would say, and you tell me whether it was time or space, to be able to do what most artists do, which is then spend a year or two kind of honoring that record. You sort of you moved in different directions.
Oh, like right after.
Yeah, after,
back
right?
to BLACKPINK stuff.
Kind of, after a few months. And so you had APT was kind of doing the job and it went brilliantly.
Yeah. Grew its own arms and legs and just started walking around the world.
Totally.
Just did its own thing.
Totally, which was beautiful because, you know, it's like, okay, but it almost felt like, you must have felt like you were sort of vicariously experiencing success in a strange way.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's kind of like what it felt like was like I describe all of my songs in my album as like if I had, how many songs? It was 12 songs.
Yeah.
I had 12 kids. They all have like different personalities.
There's some sad kids. There's some sad children.
Some very sad children.
A couple of pretty grumpy, angry children.
True.
Couple of drunk children, but the rest of them are fine.
Oh, true, yes. But we love them all.
Yeah,
we embrace them all.
Yeah.
And I feel like APT was one of like the kids that let's call it kids, that I had. Like it was like very random and happened on a fun moment in my life, and then just suddenly just grew its own like arms and legs, and then just like went to Harvard and law and like just became like I don't know, like became the president or something like that, and just did it, and I'm like, wow.
APT's an overachiever.
What happened? Yeah.
APT's got mad ambition.
Yeah. That's what it feels like. And so it's like I feel like the parent at home who's like on social media with my glasses on.
Like, so proud.
Oh my God, this one did my fourth child. What's happening?
It's #1 in 55 countries. That's what happened. I mean, it's Apple Music's most streamed song of the year. It's, I mean, odds on favorite. And I'm not trying to jinx you and you don't have to respond, but I'm just going to be a fan and say it's odds on your favorite to win, you know, song or record of the year or both. But you had it for a while. I think you started recording it at the end of 2023, October, November time. Did it feel like it was going to connect?
I had this like a weird experience with that when we first wrote it. We talked about it with Circuit the other day as well. The day after the day we wrote it, Circuit is crazy with bounces. He will send you an amazing, like fully polished bounce by the end of the day.
Okay, so check this out. If you're listening and watching this, right, that is the artist's dream. Because what happens is you get in the room, you create something beautiful, you fall in love with it immediately, and you want to leave with it. And you want to leave with it, so you put it in your car, and it sounds good.
I totally agree.
Good. So he knows what he's doing.
Yes. So he sent it to me, and then but then something about like it was like, I don't know, I was a bit scared of it, so I didn't play it.
Yeah, I've heard this before. What were you scared about? Do you know?
I don't know. So I keep talking about it because I'm still trying to kind of pick my brain on that.
Do you think your subconscious was telling you this was going to be a life-changing song?
I think my subconscious was telling me it could be a life-changing song. It felt like 50-50. Like, because it's obviously, it's different. And I think that's why people are drawn to it so much, because the first thing you think is, what does APT mean, right? And I understood that because I know what it means and I know what it is. But before we start going around being like, this is a drinking game and having people like really vibe to it, it's a bit, you know, there's a learning curve for it. And so I was just like, I don't know. And then I kept it. And I remember I like washed up and I go in my bed and then I turned my phone on and I remember I kind of went, play. I went, play. And then let's see what happens.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it started playing and then I had it on repeat till I fell asleep to it. To this crazy like
that's how you know.
Upbeat song.
That's how you know.
I fell asleep, woke up, and I was waiting to see when I would get sick of it. And I just had it on repeat all night. But as much as I obviously was enjoying it and kind of was addicted to it instantly, something in me was like, I have to tell my producers and songwriters to just kind of delete it off their phones. Of course, I didn't want Circuit to delete it off his computer, but I don't know. I just needed this to be like in my hands until I fully like digest it. And it took me months.
Yeah.
I kept it in my phone and I asked, you know, kindly if everybody could delete it off their phones. And I had it just with me and I played it occasionally to people. And as I saw like my friends, parents, like people's reactions, that's when I was like, this song is doing things to people. They were like reacting. And so until I naturally got that, so I wouldn't even hype up the song before I played it to anyone and just be like, this was for fun. And I'd play it and I would see their reactions and it was exactly the same reactions that I got from when I first introduced the drinking game to the producers in the room.
Yeah.
The way they were like, but like, what is
enormous
that?
Curiosity value. Enormous curiosity.
Yes. And so once I started to pick that up one by one and it added up and it felt like the majority of people, if not every single person that I'd played it to, kind of kept coming back and they'd text me back, be like, oh my God, I have that song stuck in my head. You only played it once. I'm like, okay, but you could just be being nice. So that added up and then it convinced me fully. Then that's when I like accepted it as, you know, I think this could be my single.
There's so much in that I think is really interesting. And the idea that you wanted to protect the experience for you so you could honor what your instinct told you and not be swayed by other opinions. So it could be pure. The decision was pure. I haven't heard it put that way before. I've never heard of an artist after the fact saying, right, I just want to own this myself. You have to actually not listen to it or work on it from now on.
Yeah.
It's kind of like really, I think it's really cool. It shows like a lot of, that you knew you had something.
Maybe. I don't know. Or if I can't still tell if it's like, if it's that or
Yeah.
why was I scared of it? Did I not like it? Did I
Well,
like it? What was the emotion?
It's a brilliantly weird song. I think about some of like in the 80s, everyone was kind of making it up because technology was showing up for the first time. So it's like, oh, what happens with this drum machine and this synth and how do these things even work? So we got all these weird pop songs. And, APT kind of does have that same feeling of like, I know I love it immediately, but it's not in step with what else you're hearing on the radio around the world, I think, at that moment. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe that was the emotion. I feel like today is a day where you're, teaching me about my emotions, about my about months and years, how much time has passed.
I'm just great for you here.
It's like therapy session too. I'm like, yes, I think you might be right.
Well, like I said, I mean, a year on, it feels special. I mean, it's often we have conversations with artists at the beginning of a new journey, and then we catch up at the beginning of the next journey. It's nice to be able to talk to you at a point where you finish a year and just sort of picking up these children again and getting to play these songs and honor them again in front of fans. How was that playing it the other night at the Grammy Museum?
It was really rewarding. I remember after the show, like I was just talking to the band and I told them that like, life can get really chaotic and there's just like so much happening and so grateful for it and it's very like overwhelming and just like fun, exciting, all these emotions. But I was telling them that like it's moments like this that make me really appreciate my job. And it was a day where I walked home saying, God, I love my job. Because I get to, I've fallen in love with music from the beginning. And then as we were writing out our songs and creating it with amazingly talented people, we fall in love with, the project that we're working on. Then we give it out and we in hopes that people would love it too. And then it does its own thing. And then you have to kind of recreate that relationship with the love of your life that you've just created, I feel like. And there was like a part, like once it's out, you go through different phases of like, was that good? And people are saying they love it. I'm like, I'm trying to like figure out how I feel about everything. But then to come back with it after it's done its job with, the fans, to bring it back to me and ask myself, what does this music do to me today?
I'm so glad you brought that up because I was listening to the album again on the way in to speak with you, and I think it was around Not the Same, which I think is a great song, the idea of putting that accountability back on somebody, and it's like there's the real you was in there, but you've changed. and I wondered, because so many of these songs are so honest, it really is like a mirror held up to you in your life for a time period that you've obviously long since left behind. How you feel about this album now that you're a different person, but these songs remain?
Yeah, I always thought like because this is also my first experience, by the way, of like, working on an album and, songwriting and this whole process of putting it out. And this is all like first for me. I was really shocked because I always thought like if you write a song that it was written about something and it's about this, it's about a specific situation or emotion. But like a year from its release and maybe a year and a half since I wrote it, or almost 2 years since I wrote it, like it speaks to me differently. It's almost like I'm just equally as a listener as everyone else. If somebody releases music where I'm like, oh my God, that song relates to my life like so much. It's kind of like that. As I'm performing it, it's relating to my life currently in such different stories and different forms, and it's healing me in different ways. If I wrote it because of this, then I'm being healed by it in a totally different way today.
It changes shape for you as your life moves.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to experience my own songs in the next, 10 years to see what that will mean to me. And it's so funny because I was also listening to some songs that I haven't released that I wrote after the album. And it was very close to, so it's like a year ago I wrote a song that's not out yet. And I was getting ready. And I was like, just out of nowhere, I forgot that song even existed. And I was like, let me look for it. And I found it. I played it and it brought back so many memories and emotions that I'd forgotten I even had. And it's just like, I wrote it and I loved it, and then I kind of detached from it for a bit. I was like, no, I don't relate to it anymore. I don't. And then I played it again, and it was just like it relived this whole new experience, and I fell in love with it again. And I think it's the same experience with after releasing a song as well.
Yeah.
And performing it, doing new renditions of it was also fun to kind of do it with a band and kind of tell them how I relate to the song today and how I need it to sound today. And it's an ongoing creative work. Even if the song is already out, it changes within me as I perform it. As it lives on, it just keeps growing. And I always thought if it's like once it's out, it's done. Like,
yeah, on to the next.
That's what I thought, but no, it's still ever evolving, and I'm really enjoying that right now.
You know, getting back to APT, and you've had a chance to perform that with some great people who've wanted to collaborate with you. I mean, in South Korea with Chris must have been a great experience, isn't he? He's such such an amazing performer and artist.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy. I mean, when do you have like in your life like Coldplay ask you to come on stage with you?
What were you thinking when you're looking at him and he's kind of throwing these words that you wrote back at you, but he's doing it.
It was kind of funny,
but he's doing it the Chris Martin way, which is just doing that dance that he does, where he does that thing. That thing.
Yeah. But he was like, he kind of gave me the he was like, Rosie, do your thing. I'm just here to celebrate this for you, and it was really sweet, and it was just like, it was very fun to watch him try speak Korean because it says Korean, and Bruno goes "Konbae," and like it's just funny to see somebody that you don't imagine.
Did he come prepared, or did you have to help him out before?
Oh no, I think he came prepared.
He came prepared.
So Bruno has this version where it goes like, drink, Rosie, dance, Rosie. And then he's like, Rosie, I already practiced the other version.
He's such an overachiever. He can't help himself. Even when he's got a window to take the easy out, Bruno gave him the easy out. And he's like, no, I spent 6 months practicing how to say
6 months, yeah. So he was like, Rosie, I'm sorry, it's going to confuse me. I've already practiced the other one. So we did that, and it was just, and then like he, I've never done that before, and I didn't even know that was possible. And he was like, again. So we did it for like 2 nights, and he allowed us to do it like twice in a row. We did APT twice.
He did a rewind.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God.
Was it the first time you performed in front of that many people at home when you did it with him?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
The first time in front of a really big, actually was it right before? Sai asked me, he does like a really big crazy show in Korea, it's huge, it's an annual thing, and he asked me to do it. I think it was before that. And so that was my first time performing it in Korea, and then that was the first time performing it at like a stadium like that.
And also getting to perform that song, which is so inspired by something that comes from home. And again, there's the curiosity for the rest of the world as what APT is, and it's just like so catchy and so sticky. But to go home and perform it for the first time in front of people that may know what that game is, and bring it home. What was that like?
Oh my God. Oh wait, yeah, because my family and friends were in the crowd when we were performing at Coldplay. They all came to me. They're like, I have never seen the crowd go that crazy. They were like, it felt like the World Cup.
You know, you and your friends in BLACKPINK really honored your journey and your relationship and the fans, and you toured really hard. Like you took it around the world, and you gave everyone a chance to see you in 2025. Let's just go back to the beginning of that tour and how it felt coming back together, having all gone off to pursue your own personal interests and creative desires, to come back together as a group, but also having learned so much about yourselves individually.
I think creative work is all about being inspired, and you have to have enough creative freedom to be, inspired to like to make music and make art.
Yeah, space.
Yes. And so we kind of all got that, and bringing that back together as BLACKPINK. I was really, really excited to see what was going to happen and how we would have evolved, and like so. I mean, I feel like Jump, I think is just so fresh, and I'm obsessed with Jump.
Yeah.
I feel like I love this era of BLACKPINK, and I think it has a lot to do with, you know, how we kind of went out and got inspired and came back together. And it's just like a whole new, funky, new little thing. And I love it. I'm obsessed with it. And then kind of going back on like the touring aspect and like adjusting back into, you know, how we function as a group. It was like, I think mentally just challenging because I think I had that 1 year to like crunch in like independence. Like I had to like learn quickly how to adapt to this life where I'm my only, I don't have 3 other members.
Or a machine as well. And I mean that with the
Yes.
greatest of respect. I mean, for Blackpink to function, it requires so many people doing great jobs simultaneously
Yes.
in symbiosis.
Very specific
It's not
and detailed.
like you just get to show up 10 minutes late for a session with Circuit and Amy, you know, in your sweatpants and just be like, we're writing today. It's very different.
It's very different. And so kind of adapting to that life, but then to take those elements and then adapt back into and bring it back and just, it's like a lot of brain work.
Yeah.
It had already been a lot of brain work doing it for myself for a bit. And so it was like just that back to back to then just like quickly adjusting again. So just a lot of brain work all year. And I feel like I'm just kind of getting the hang of it. And then it's like the tour is coming to an end. And I'm like, wait, I was just getting the hang of it. And I feel like that's what life is about.
Yeah.
Most of the time you're like, I was just getting the hang of it. And then it's just like,
It throws
it's
it
done.
open. It throws it open.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
right. That's where the challenge is. You know, Jenny,
The whole journey.
when I spoke to Jenny briefly, well, not briefly, we had a great conversation, but she was saying in advance of the Blackpink tour that she understood the level of commitment required, certainly as you start to mature in your life and you start to take a look around. You're not like kids anymore, you know, you're starting to sort of mature as artists and as people, that it does require a commitment that everyone has to be really committed and honor that together. And, you know, is that something that you sort of, that you, before you even agree to go back on the road, the 4 of you have to sit there and sort of go, look, you know, we know what this is going to take. We're not in the, you know, just the treadmill of this. It's going to take a year. And we have to commit.
I think like making decisions, I think earlier on in our career, we don't know what decisions we're making really.
Yeah.
Like they throw things at us and we're like, okay, it looks great until you go through everything and you learn the responsibilities and what it means. You can't just take a job and say you'll do it and not understand anymore once you've done it a few times. And so, yes, we had every decision that we made very carefully. We discussed it a lot and, you know, a lot of remember when we decided to do this. So we're going to think that. Do we all agree we can do this? And once we were like all on the same page, we'd proceed. So it's much healthier now.
Yeah, that sounds really healthy. It sounds like a proper group mentality, like the right mindset for all of you to be able to do.
To understand that we are like 4 individuals who have 4 different personalities, but all together the things we can, you know, we can do and what we can't do, just to learn that over the course of what's been like 9, 10-ish, almost 10 years.
Yeah, coming up
now.
to a decade.
So it's like, it's about time we understand how this works and how our bodies and brains work. And so, everything is now, it's fun to kind of know ourselves now.
Yeah.
In the past, I think it was all scary. It was really fun at first because we didn't know anything. And then it got really scary. You're like, whoa, this is a lot.
Yeah, fast. It's fast.
So now being like, we understand. We've had enough experiences to learn about ourselves. And
one of the coolest things about seeing, you know, the way people are responding to the show, watching the footage of the show, is just how much fun you're all having. You know, and you know, there's still this high level performance when you come together. It's like, this is a show and we know exactly how to do a great show. But there's moments when you seem to be able to be comfortable now as 4 friends, to be able to laugh at each other.
Yeah.
You know, to be able to enjoy the experience. And I think we're all really enjoying that too, because it takes the pressure off us as fans. Like, what if someone misses a step, or what if this goes wrong? It's like, don't worry about it. Like, has that felt like a conscious change for you on this tour, that you all seem to be just really enjoying yourselves up there?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I feel like this tour kind of has like a new layer of, it's like a new layer of meaning. And for me, I can't speak for the other girls, but it felt like a bit of a celebration to the amazing, you know, the memories we've created as Blackpink with our fans growing up together. like everything we've been through. Like there's just like unbelievable things we've done that we really didn't imagine we could do when we were like 16. And there was like this new layer of just, this is also a celebration to our like 20s of all the amazing success BLACKPINK has, achieved, all the hard work we've put in. And so, yeah, exactly like you said, in the past, if it was more like, we're going to prove to people, all that hard work, we have this new layer of understanding that this is also another day in our lives that we must remember and really embrace.
Oh, that's amazing you said that. My gosh, I love that observation because so much of the idea of the performance and the fan feels like an unspoken trade that you will remember this forever, but I may just be so in the moment of trying to deliver this for you that I've got and prepare for the next one that I may not remember this the way I want to remember it. And the way that you seem to be describing it is like, no, we want to capture this too, just like you.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a giving and taking of energy. In the past, if it was more giving or whatever way it could be, I think it's always the best when it's a giving and taking situation because that's what music's supposed to be about. It's about connection. It's about connecting with the people. Every crowd is also different. Some people would just want you to like
turn it on.
Yeah, and you're like, okay,
hit it.
Okay, no, yeah, we can do that.
We got you. Peace. And then it's like these ones.
Stop!
That shit is off the hook.
That was great.
All I just want to do is just be in a situation one day where I can, even just during sound check, where I just stand there and I'm just like, dun, 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 dun.
You're so funny. But yeah, I think it's definitely a giving and taking of energy now and just celebrating. And I love that there have been some fans who have been talking about that I've seen of like, it's just like, I'm just so excited to go to see the show. I grew up with BLACKPINK. These girls mean so much to me. And vice versa.
You're memory makers.
Fans. Yeah.
You're memory makers. Your songs will always remind people of a time in their life and then be rediscovered.
And vice versa.
And now vice versa.
Yes.
Which is just so nice to be able to hear that, you've been able to separate yourself enough to capture and create some of your own memories from this. Because if I asked you what it was like 8 years ago, playing at that gig, you probably wouldn't be able to remember as well, right?
No, I don't remember like how I felt in the moment, except for like, I'm going to.
Yeah. Within an inch of my life, I'm going to destroy this room. It's going to be incredible.
And then the peace outro.
By the way, if I ever see you go down going like that, I'll be like, oh yeah, all right, Rosie. Good
we
shout.
have a few shows left. I'll make sure to do that next time. I'm sure there's a few shows where I went down like that. We can search on the internet.
I want to come back to you in a second, but as this tour nears its end and you've got a couple more shows next year, the beginning of next year, I think one of the other things everyone's acutely aware of is the fact that at the heart of this is 4 human beings, 4 people who are dedicating themselves to creating these memories for fans and to putting on a great show. And it's a beautiful life. And we all acknowledge and love the gratitude that you all express for living this life. But around you are vans and planes and crew and equipment and pressures and things like that. Being on this tour, if you're present on stage and you're able to appreciate and absorb the fans, what about all of the things that go on around you that gets you there and takes you off and keeps you going?
In the past, because we're experiencing everything for the first time, we're not used to all that. That usually tends to speak louder than the actual thing we're there for. Right now, I think we're at a point where we've learned how to very just naturally flow through like the traveling, all that, going to new hotels, like all that. We've learned how to kind of accept that naturally as like a natural flow of our life.
State.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like we have the life off of tour and that's just like a normal way of living. And then the life on tour is just, that's another it's almost like 2 people. Like if I had 2 different lives, like that's just the flow of that life.
Yeah.
And to make sure you save the energy for when you get to work. And then kind of keeping the brain quieter during the travels. Because I think in the past, like you try to make meaning of everything. Like every new hotel you get into, like you just, trying to make
Absorb,
sense of
absorb,
everything.
and
Yeah, and just being away from family and friends, like all that every day. Like you're just trying to do that. And yes, it still gets to, we're human beings. It does get to you. But I think it's just, we've experienced enough now that we try to accept it as like a normal, natural flow of the way life on tour goes. And then we just come to the show and make sure that the show is the main centerpiece of what we're here for. Yeah, so it's been more.
What are you watching when you're on the road? What do you do with your time? How do you like?
Let me think.
Like what have you watched this year that you really love? Like what's been a companion for you on an entertainment level that's kept you?
You know what? I have been really like, so for like about a year, I've only just started watching things now, but for a while I had so much because I was still coming off of my album, all of that, and honestly promotions have not ended still till now, and there was like BLACKPINK tour and out, like we had a song release and everything. There's so much in my brain that I don't think I had enough capacity in my brain to sit down and watch a different story. And I didn't have enough, and I've been going through a lot of, I've just been working on that a lot, of how to detach from so much brain activity. And then I think the first time I watched something and I was shocked at myself for really like sitting down on a couch for the first time in I think almost like a year and a half. And I sat down for like on my couch for a whole week and I watched this Korean like TV series called Our Blues. I don't know why I'm promoting this right now.
It's fine.
Actually, maybe I'm not allowed to do that because it's not Apple TV or something.
Totally fine.
It's okay.
Totally fine.
But anyway, I watched this Korean TV show for like a week, and that was the first time I'd watched something in like a year and a half, and that's when I knew I was like, okay, I've really worked on myself, and it took me almost a year to kind of get me there. It was so hard to like.
How did you do it? Can I ask? I mean, I know that it's still fresh in your mind, but this idea of being able to detach and to be able to process to the point where you can make sense of the workload and the success and all the life, how did you do it?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm even doing it correctly now, but let me think. I think just a lot of self-reflection on kind of pinpointing of how I'm feeling and not like to not disregard any emotions, because like I am really like grateful and I am so excited and thrilled and I am a bit overwhelmed and all of these emotions, to accept it all, and then just a lot of reflection and allowing emotions to just happen the way it did. And
my therapist always says, if you feel something, try to figure out what it is before you figure out why it is.
I agree.
All right? Like, what is it? And then can I trace it to something that is in my life, then I can make a direct correlation to, then I'll understand it better.
Yes. So a lot of that, which means a lot of reflecting.
Yeah.
Because when you're really busy and you're doing so many things, you forget to check in on how's Rosie feeling?
Yeah.
Work Rosie is like thriving.
6 p.m., 7 p.m., on stage, 9 p.m., in bed, waking up. Yeah, for sure.
What do we have to do next? We're there. But then like also just reflecting on how just like once in a while to acknowledge that. It's been very helpful, and I think as I did that, like I learned how to take time off. I'm really bad. I was really bad at that, to be honest, but I think I have learned enough about myself now to know I'm not very good at it yet, but I'm still getting there, to know like what it means to take time for what I need as Rosie. And I'm still figuring it out, to be honest.
We all are. I mean,
as I speak, I'm coming off like the longest
year of like any musician on the planet this year. But no, it makes total sense because, you're right. Like those first chapters of your life are just go, 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 go. But you can't maintain it. You can't maintain it.
Until you find a good structure so I can be back for more things next week even. Yeah. Yeah.
But you talk about like taking time off and also loving making music so much. And I'd imagine that, and I've heard you talk about your process before, which I really, really, I like the way you talk about how the songs come up. It connects me to the music, connects all fans to the music when you say like, I don't want to access ideas until I've gone in here and figured out what they're going to represent from me.
Totally. The same thing for like now as well. I think I was on such a like role of songwriting, and I thought it would just kind of forever be that way. But there also comes a time where it's like I honestly just have to kind of live a little bit, because when I wrote Rosie, it was like it's my first album that I was part of the songwriting so heavily, and it took me 28 years of my life to figure out that big one the first subject that I want to like really dive deep into, and it's only been like a year since I've come off of that, and so I'm just like, it's like life is just a lesson right now. I'm like learning everything for the first time. I'm like, okay, so this is what I'm going through after
Eyes
that
wide
album.
open, conscious and absorbing.
Yes. And it doesn't mean like just because I thought I'd just continue to do this like every day. Like if it's not that today, then it's fine. It'll come on its natural course, just like the songwriting came for me then. I don't think I like put my mind to it and said, 1 year I'm going to write the album. It wasn't like that. I was in a studio and it spoke to me.
Yeah.
And I went, I would like to do this for the rest of the year.
Well, you're in some pain. I mean, it's a painful album, you know? I mean, that music came from a place of a real life lesson.
And then that's when yes, like you said, and that was when I found that songwriting was very therapeutic to me.
Yeah.
And it was something I needed in my life. I honestly couldn't do anything else. Like if they were to ask me to do other amazing, let's say, opportunities came through, like nothing else was speaking to me except songwriting. And I actually said, I'm just going to be in the studio for the rest of the year. And I did it because that spoke to me in my life. It was a bit far from my job necessarily. It was just what was really helping me on a personal level. I think that's what songwriting should be in the future too, because that's how APT came out. That's how all the songs came out.
Oh, they're very, very honest. You can hear it. It's all the way through. It's really interesting going back and listening to it again. It had been a minute since I put the album on, and listened to it a couple of times. And it's funny, the first time I heard Number One Girl, I didn't get it the way I get it now.
Really?
Does that make sense? And also, I completely forgot that you open the album with it, which is kind of crazy. Like your first solo album, you would think it would be, if you're going to start with anything, APT, right?
Yeah.
It's like hit him with the one. And you're like, no, I'm going to pull myself wide open on the first song.
Which is, I think, now I think about it, I'm like, that's pretty I don't know if it's gutsy. I don't know if I'd make the same decision today, but at that time I was like, has to start with this.
Yeah. I wondered if it surprised you looking back on it, because it really is like such an amazing opening statement. Like, I am not together like you think I am. Right?
Yeah. There's like this TikTok I think my friend sent me, and they're like, it's so funny. Like this girl obviously has heard APT on the radio, and she's like, so there's somebody tell me about this Rosie girl. I went to her album listening to APT, thinking it's going to be the whole...
Bangers.
Yeah, APT. She thought the whole album would be APT. And she's like, no, this girl's depressed. And I was just like laughing.
It's funny because it's true. I mean, by the time she got to Too Bad For Us, they're like, oh my God, give this girl some therapy and a fucking hot cup of soup.
Yeah, that's what I need. But how funny is that? And she's like, this girl's depressed. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm opening up with Number One Girl. So
I'm glad you did. As a fan, I think it's like you said, I think it sets the tone for the album brilliantly.
Thank you.
So going into the future, and by the way, I say that in full acknowledgement and honoring the need for some time. And I know that you've got a few dates in the new year, big shows, but hopefully you feel like you're starting to get some space and thinking about what will come from that.
And I think just at this point, it's just letting life happen to you.
Yeah.
It's not even like planning, like I need something, like a big subject. No, it's like big subjects can be happening in your life, and it doesn't always necessarily mean like that's what's going to bring you to the studio to write. I think I have to let life happen to me, and just, that's what music is. It's about sharing experiences and creating it and bonding through the world of music and art. And so
it's what's interesting to you that's going to interest us.
Yeah.
And I think some people feel that when they've had success or whatever, that they have to go and find something that's going to interest us. And it's like, no. The smallest thing can be
Yeah.
interesting to you and
Yeah.
lead to some kind of song.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, oh man, like who wants to wait around for heartbreak or tragedy or fucking love or all these things that are big
Of
subjects?
course.
It's like you can't turn them on.
Yeah. I don't know, like next year I might be I'm going out. Like I could literally wake up one day and be like, I'm a whole different person.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying I need to let life happen.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. Like
Yeah.
nothing has a formula necessarily, especially when it comes to music.
Yeah.
And so I'm learning everything and I'm having so much fun. And I'm also just grateful at the end of the day for my job. I'm like, what an experience. And
Yeah, but you set it in motion. I mean, there must be, if you've been able to go on stage with your friends and really enjoy the moment
yes.
and embrace the experience, that must open the door to some reflection here and there where you think about the journey and you think about the young person that kind of wanted something so badly that they were willing to work really hard and commit everything toward that. And like, have you sort of had a chance or even considered the overall, like where you began and what really started this for you? What do you think the original motivation was for you to want to pursue this life and be an artist and, you know?
I think it was like it was very natural. Just naturally, I think. I was always in the backseat of the car in Australia going from home to like school, and radio was on and music's all around us. And I too was just like, I love all the music that's coming on the radio, and I found an interest to like my culture because back then K-pop existed too, and I was born and raised in New Zealand and Australia, so I was very interested in my own culture and my background. I'm Korean, and there's this big music scene in Korea, and so I remember it was my older sister. She learned a lot about Korean music, and not just like the pop, like R&B and like ballads and all, like there was like a really like rap scene, like all that music she had on like iTunes. And, you know, as the little sister, I get to just share everything she has. I'm just, you know.
Yeah, power of the sibling.
Yes. And anything she was absorbing, I was absorbing too. That's how I got into like, even like other genres too. She just had a bunch of music on her iTunes, so many songs, and that would range from Korean music to like music out here, like R&B to like, you know, band music. Like she listened to a lot of like John Mayer, then like rap music. Like it was like all there, and I think that's how I absorbed music for the first time. And YouTube was first kind of happening, and that's when like we would have to like download for like 2 hours to watch a music video.
I remember.
Yeah. And so in the morning I'd like download a few songs, and then by the time I got home I'd watch a wide range from like K-pop videos to because I like loved watching Dreamgirls, right, that movie, and and then I'd download like Listen, the music video on there, and like and then people started to post like cover songs on guitars, and I always watched being like, oh, I want to be that girl. All of that being absorbed with this new technology and stuff.
You were right on time.
Yes. So it's just very natural, and then my dad was just witnessing that and just could tell I was very just interested in music, and music was just like entertainment of my life because there was not really much to do then in Australia. I just go to school and got my home, like bored, so play the piano, listen to music on like YouTube and stuff and iTunes, and so that's what naturally just got me there. And my dad just saw that and said do something about it before you regret it. And
oh wow,
and I was suddenly in some like big system at 16 in Korea, like city of Seoul, in this huge like incredible like system, and I was so like, what a crazy life. And they trained me, they gave me all the things I needed to do, like dance lessons, vocal lessons. Like I'd never learned anything in my life. Did all that, and then BLACKPINK, and then
But what an amazing piece of advice for your father to give you. Do something about it before you regret it. It's amazing. We're almost out of time, Rosé, but I wanted to just ask one last question quickly because fans want to know, and obviously no commitment, but is the desire now that you've started to bring these songs to life with the band, even in an acoustic environment, and you're going to be able to spend 2026 living some life and being open to experience. Would you like to come back to this album and tour it, or would you prefer to make new music and then connect the two projects at a later date?
I think I'm just waiting for that too. Like, I think I'm waiting for an answer down, you know, deep down in my gut. I can't like pinpoint. All I know is I've been on BLACKPINK tour, and so I've just been waiting for that moment where I could maybe next week be like, I just want to tour with this, or I might want to build on top of this and create like a more solid world. So I can't give promises, but I do definitely know that like once I feel something just feels right for me, like I'll be really, really excited to tour.
Oh, so will everybody. You've got songs. You've been thinking about music. You have music.
Oh yes, always. For sure, always. Just waiting for it to grow and then kind of create its own arms and legs and and flourish. But yeah, of course, I have a whole little mini album on my phone where I'm like,
amazing.
I like it.
I've always really enjoyed getting to talk with you, and I really appreciate a year on from the last conversation we had, which started this whole year, life-changing year, that to be able to sort of, like we said, put a bit of a cap on it. I'm looking forward to where you go next.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really grateful.
Oh, thank you. It was really fun. I had a
It's
good
really
time.
fun. Bye, Zane.
Bye.